I'm just a single player type of guy, so story mode and one-time payments are enough for me. Hey, what's up everybody? Thank you for clicking on this video. Please hit that like button and that subscribe button. It really helped the channel out a lot. And let's get straight to it. Hope you enjoy. 2023 has been a single player paradise, just like 2018 was. And as a YouTuber that makes videos for gamers like you, like a madman, I finally have the courage to say this. Me personally, I never play online multiplayer games. Like ever. And whenever I do hop on the sticks for an online multiplayer game, I'm usually never better than average because, you know, I never do that. I never step into that space.
Get in a race, my boy, please.
Good for the team. All right, let's see.
Okay, we ain't do too bad. We ain't do too bad.
I have nothing against online multiplayer games, I just don't swing that way. I'm a single player type of guy. And the crazy part about it is that in real life, I'm a pretty extroverted guy. It's just that when I enjoy video games, I like to, you know, go into my room and enjoy them in a lower bubble that I keep them to myself. And sometimes I wonder, like, am I the only one that feels like that in the day and age where live service games are given out like candy and even cheaper to get than candy? And don't get me wrong, I have streamers that I like to watch. I like watching them play online multiplayer games. It's just me, when it comes to that breakdown of playing multiplayer versus single player, is more like a 70-30 type of split. Very one-sided towards single player games. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, maybe you just didn't like the online multiplayer games, but no, that's not the case, because it never caught on with the games that I even liked. I liked playing 2K. I liked playing Call of Duty. I for sure liked playing Pokemon, but I was never in the global battle system. I was never in the park, and I was very rarely playing Warzone. And remember the fact that I said it's a 70-30 split. The farthest that I comfortably go is like a couch co-op game like Mario Kart or Mario Party, which we do have a lot of videos uploaded on the channel already, and there will be Uno coming out later or before this. I don't. But yeah, the farthest that I comfortably go is like a couch co-op game like Duel Masters or Mario Kart. But it's not like those are even really multiplayer games. I mean, there's like a sticker system in Mario Party, and there's like an emote system in Duel Masters, but that's as far as it goes when it comes to interacting with other people. And it's not like I'm totally against it or like I run away from it, because I'm down to always be a fourth if you guys need one for like Uno or something like that. And you know, I'm a gamer first, so if you need a fourth for whatever game you're running, like I'm down to play. It's just that if it were up to me, I wouldn't be playing those games. I'd much rather be like shiny hunting or something like that. As a matter of fact, if you were to ask me what my favorite games were to play back in the day and right now, I would have told you Earthbound, Pokemon, and probably Red Dead Redemption 2. 2 out of 3 of those games had online multiplayer functions that I did not use. I mean, I put also Wonder Trades every once in a while, and I guess I loaded into the Red Dead Redemption Live, but beyond that, I did nothing. Not gonna lie, online multiplayer games have had mad motion in the last decade, and it doesn't really bother me. I mean, I like hopping in the streams, and I like stream culture, and you know, I'd like to stream eventually at some point, you know, later on. I laugh because, you know, I really got to get on that and stop pushing that back. And I'm also laughing because it would probably be a Pokemon or a Mario stream, something totally out of the ordinary or what's usually streamed. But games that heavily rely on the online multiplayer live service experience have their own issues too. And here are 3 things that single player gamers don't experience that multiplayer gamers do. And maybe with just a little bit of a negative connotation. Some of you live service fiends have gotten so used to the constant asking of microtransactions that they keep bludgeoning you with in every game that you play, and single player gamers like me cannot fathom it. Now, games like Pokemon or Red Dead Redemption have like DLC that you pay like $10 for to get a little bit extra in the game, and it's not needed at all. But in the online space, you got VC, you got skins, VC skins and but in the live service space, you have a lot of things like skins or Madden Ultimate Team or 2K My Career that are just money pits. The constant microtransactions in Fortnite and stuff that's not even the stuff that I'm worried about. It's really the esports games, the Madden and 2K, not esports as in like Apex Legends. But yeah, EA and 2K run this system into the dirt, and if you're not familiar with it, let me explain it to you real quick. So every year, there's a new 2K that comes out, there's a new Madden that comes out, there's a new FIFA that comes out, and the base version of the game is now $70 for the next gen, current gen consoles. But that's just for the base version. You don't get any of the virtual currency or the Madden points or anything like that. When you load into the game and you push away all of the Nike and Jordan and Gatorade ads that are built into the game, unskippable ads.
What the fuck? You what?
You load into the mode that you most likely want to play, like a Madden Ultimate Team or like a NBA 2K My Career, then you're immediately put at the bottom of the ladder, and the only way to climb up that ladder is to grind hard in whatever mode, whatever convoluted mode that they put in the game. Or you could spend these crazy prices on virtual currency microtransactions that sometimes cost as much as the game itself. There is a lot of gamers out there that are paying $150, $120 for 2K, and the original game is like $70. And 2K has no shame because they'll bundle you the game for $150. And the worst part about it is that the virtual currency in 1 year does not carry over to the next year. So after a year of you either painstakingly grinding or you putting in so much money into it, is all gone next year when you get the next 2K. The VC packs in 2K are ridiculous. Ridiculous. And they'll like restructure the whole game. So like in 2K21 or 22, they made the point of the game being get to level 99. And that was the main point of the game. They had this big push on getting to level 99, but what they didn't tell us is that they were gonna make it a lot harder to get to level 99. What $20 could get you in 2K17 was from like level 60 to like level 85. What $20 gets you in every 2K after like 2K21 is like from level 60 to 67. They hoard us on the prices. And what they also don't do is separate the online neighborhood park mode from the single player NBA mode, so you would still need to pay these prices to get good at basketball in the NBA. And you know Madden did that type of stuff too with Ultimate Team. The way Madden runs Ultimate Team is like a gambling house. It's not as bad and as blatant as 2K is with it, but Madden still has their own issues and still has their own problems. So the way all of these live service games are playing us is by introducing these steep power curves in the games that could be, you know, aided with just by dumping in a little bit of by dumping in a little bit of hard-earned cash. Luckily, all the online live service shooters like Valorant, Call of Duty, Apex, they're not that bad to get almost every individual player to put in another $70 for the game, basically paying for twice the game every year that the game comes out. But even those games still have their own microtransactions. And I speak from experience with all of these esports games because I used to stay up too for the NBA 2K releases like NBA 2K16, 17, 18, and I used to hand over an extra $20 to get my character from overall 55 to like overall 85, and that's what $20 would have got me. But ever since they changed this format and made that power curve just a little bit steeper to really catch y'all, to catch me, I was like, yeah, I can't do this no more. But this is the second thing that multiplayer gamers experience that single players don't really get to experience, is the releasing of the same game over and over and over again, year after year after year. They have become masters at it. And Call of Duty doesn't even just bother by re-releasing the same game over and over again. Call of Duty is starting to recycle maps. They're starting to recycle titles from their own games. There's already been a Modern Warfare, and there's already been a Modern Warfare 2. And whenever they do try something new, like with Call of Duty Vanguard, it just seems like a re-releasing, a worse version of a re-releasing of something that they already had done. And Call of Duty is one of those games where if you haven't played it in 4 or 5 years and you decided to pick it up again after 4 or 5 years, you can successfully pick it up again without any regard of what Call of Duty generation we're currently on, because it's basically the same game. As long as you get your reflex time back up, you're good as golden. And EA Sports Madden is making an ass out of a lot of people. They don't change the player scans, they don't change anything. They change the user interface, and that is it. They really change the user interface, they change the soundtrack, and then they leave the studio, ready to charge a whole bunch of 14-year-old kids $120 yet again. But Madden wasn't always like this before the live service online portion of it was in the game. They used to have like bobblehead mode and like backyard football mode. But now the backyard football mode that they have isn't as crazy and as wacky as old backyard modes used to be. And you know how I know Madden did not care about their game? A bunch of important players, very important players, changed their whole appearance and nobody caught on to it for years at the Madden studio. Cam Newton and OBJ, they changed their hairstyles like every year, but they never got updated rigs. And with 2K, we gotta get on them again, because who said that they were really really doing something with that neighborhood. That neighborhood that's the same neighborhood every year, just a little bit expanded and a little bit harder to get through unless you grind hard and get the scooter or the skateboard or whatever. Usually it's somebody's first job at McDonald's that shows them the value of $1, but not I. It was Red Dead Redemption 2 that showed me the value of how much my money could get for video games. I remember how much that game changed my view on the video game industry because $60 got me Red Dead Redemption 2, a once in a decade type of game. And I put hours and hours into Red Dead 2 and got a lot out of it just by playing the single player campaign. Instead of dumping $300 a year on EA FIFA or EA 2K every year as a 16-year-old. Think of everybody who spent $300 that year in 2018 when video games were really popping off and they didn't play games like Hitman, Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War that all came out that year. But they spent $300 on virtual currency that doesn't carry over to the next season. And think of the fact that it's all happening again in 2023 because video games are popping off again. Dead Space Remake, Final Fantasy 16, Tears of the Kingdom. And the last thing that multiplayer gamers experience that single players don't exactly experience is the obsessiveness in playing one franchise of games. Let me explain. I was born in 02, but I love Pokemon just as much as any millennial that was born right in the middle of the craze in 1993 or 94 or whatever. But I probably have 1,000 hours of Pokemon in my whole life across many games. I maybe have 1,000 hours in Minecraft, but games like Fortnite, Halo, COD got people locked down for the summer. For the whole summer, just on lockdown, playing the same game hours and hours and hours into one game. Not like over like Fire Red and then Diamond and then mix it up together. It takes 60 hours to play a Pokemon game. The longest single player games, Final Fantasy VII, Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Pokemon take people like 50 to 60 hours to experience, even if you're really sinking your teeth into it. And the people that are still playing Zelda 2 months after it came out, they have over 100 hours into it. And that's a fulfilling experience. Y'all just be running Call of Duty 10-minute back-to-back game modes and somehow that adds up to 1,000 hours over a year or two. Like, that is ridiculous. Ridiculously obsessive. And that's coming from me. But at the end of the day, this video was made just for fun. Gaming is for everybody, and what seems foreign to somebody else is really popular for a whole nother set of people. I'm just a single player type of guy, so story mode and one-time payments are enough for me. And I'm gonna follow up and do another video on things that multiplayer gamers do experience that I do like and what's kind of wishing was in the single player experience as well. Because it kind of sucks that some of my favorite Pokemon were Gengar and Machamp and some of the other ones that were locked behind a tradable wall where I could find a way to trade them, but not find a way to get them back. And then I'm gonna put up a poll, single player or multiplayer games, and you guys will decide that. But yeah, that's it for this video. I didn't mean to step on anybody's toes if I did. I'm just saying that I'm kind of a single player type of guy, and there are things that I didn't like about the multiplayer live games experience that I did not experience, and some things that I did experience, but yeah. And if you're a single player gamer, you don't have to be ashamed anymore. A lot of the single player games are fire that are coming out, and you also save a lot of money. Missing the Call of Duty train every once in a while isn't that bad, and trust me, I have not been on the 2K Madden train for years now. But I'll tell you what I have been playing. I have been playing Breath of the Wild, I have been playing Scarlet and Violet, Mario, I've been playing Dead Space Remake, Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and enjoying a totally different experience each time I play a video game. Street Fighter 6. So yeah, I hope you like this video. I changed up a few things. I changed up the style, I changed up the flow, changed up the venue. Tell me how you guys feel about multiplayer games or single player games or whatever games you guys like to play. But yeah, thank you for watching The Bread Show. Thank you for staying this long. If you stayed this long, then you probably like all of my other videos. Just letting you know, all of them are kind of like this, kind of similar to this. I changed it up a little bit for this video, but all of the videos are still similar to this one. So spread love, give inspiration in all you do, and peace out.
Welcome to The Bread Show. Take 2.
He